Alright, here are my thoughts on The Tale of the White Serpent. So, this is apparently the second Japanese animated movie. The first, of course, was Momotaro's Divine Sea Warriors. Um, this movie apparently inspired artists like Hayao Miyazaki. Apparently, it was his main inspiration to get into movies himself. So yeah, we definitely have that to thank it for. Um, and yeah, I think on its own the movie was quite enjoyable. It had a lot of charming characters. The animation was very pretty, um, and yeah, it was a fairly compelling story. So let's see. So it's about this. So it starts off with this little song, and I think the song is very nice. It's like this young boy basically singing about how he found a white snake, and he wanted to keep it, but the elders in his temple wouldn't let him, so he had to let it go. So yeah, years later, the snake apparently turned out to be a like this goddess or something, this powerful sorceress. And yeah, she's this very pretty young lady. So she meets up with the boy, now a grown man. And yeah, they basically fall in love. But then this well-meaning but overall rather ignorant monk finds out about this, and he separates him. He has the boy banished from the village, and he winds up in this rather seedy town. There's this Chinese festival going on, but otherwise the town's pretty seedy. And yeah, he's sad because he's separated from the sorceress girl. And then along the way, he kind of finds out where she is. Let me see. He goes to find her, and although, let me see. No, first the monk finds her, and then they have this really well-animated fight scene, kind of like a magic duel. They're like floating in this black void. It's I think that scene, as well as the opening song number, are probably my two favorite scenes in this movie. And yeah, he takes away her powers. She turns into he makes it so she can't transform into a human anymore. So yeah, she turns back into a snake, but she apparently doesn't want the boy to see her like that, so she turns into a spirit or something, and then this leads the boy to fall off a cliff, and then he dies. But then she sees this dragon god or something, and requests that he helps her by he gives her this flower that can save the boy's life. She returns to the earth, and also she turned back into a human. And then with the help of all their allies, there's these cute little animals, a panda, and then was it a fox or something like that? And along the way they befriend all these other animals that were in this gang of thieves, led by this big boar, that the panda managed to beat in a fight. So yeah, and then there's this cute little fish girl, she transformed into a human, just like the snake girl transformed into a human. And yeah, so with help from all these characters, they go and try to save the boy's life. They manage to give him the flower, and then he comes back to life, and then, the monk learns the mistake he made, and yeah, the along the way, there's this storm started up. I think the fish girl is kind of responsible for that because she like went to this giant catfish, and the catfish said he'll cause a storm. And then, yeah, this serpent girl got caught in the storm. And then, yeah, the boy goes in after her to save her. And then the monk manages to, like, stop the storm or something, and then, or he saves them, and, yeah, the storm stops. And then they take off happily ever after, married. The fish girl returns to her fish friends. So yeah, that's the very basic abridged version of the story. And yeah, it was a charming little movie. The characters are quite likable. I do think, you know, the animals are adorable. The fish girl is adorable. Let me see. I do like the basically the nature of this movie's antagonist, the monk. He's it's a rare case where the antagonist of the movie is not like a straight up villain. He's just very misguided. He doesn't know any better. He's basically doing a lot of harm, but he thinks that, you know, he's doing it apparently for the greater good, or at least he thinks so. So yeah, it's a pretty compelling character arc. And yeah, the animation again is quite nice. It does get a little cheap at times, and there are some goofs that I noticed here and there, but yeah, it was still a very pretty movie. And yeah, I enjoyed the characters enough, and yeah, and the characters helped make the story quite compelling. So yeah, I really like this one. It was a very nice step up from Momotaro's Divine Sea Warriors, I'll give it that. And yeah, it inspired Hayao Miyazaki to go into animation, so yeah, more points for that. So yeah, I'd give this an 8 out of 10. I would definitely recommend it for, you know, any anime fans out there, anyone who's interested in these kinds of movies. Yeah, definitely check it out. So, that's about all there is to say. Maybe, I mean, again, as usual, I'll leave a comment if there's anything else. But, yeah. That's about it. Mash it and smash it, signing off.